Corrugations are never ending on Gnaraloo Road. I want a beer that's not going to explode when I arrive at camp. So.
What did happen to the last 10? I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too.
Hey guys, a bit of early drama this morning en route to our trip up to Gnaraloo. So before we've even got out the door, we've noticed an issue with our TowPro Elite unit. It was flashing away at me. So I put a bit of a call out on Facebook to see if anyone can help out or point me in the right direction. And my mate Aaron from Dentless said, look, North Coast Auto Electrics here in Wangara, he's used them before and they're great. So nipped off down to Wangara here, and I've got Nick Jr. here to the rescue. So mate, what did you have to do?
Oh, so we just checked it out. The old red up was just flashing the code, and quite simply we found just a bad earth and away we go. So we'll get you back on the road in no time.
Awesome. So yeah, we're probably due to be closing in on Geraldton about this time this morning, but we might have to relay plans and think where we sort of stop for night one. But thanks so much for saving the day, mate. Appreciate it.
No worries. Have a safe trip.
Thank you. Yeah, a bit of an interesting morning. Probably not the way we planned it, but we're finally on the road. It's about 9:45 now though, so we've lost about
5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, we plan to set off about 5 a.m. in the morning and make a head start and make our way up to Gnaraloo. So we're probably just going to reset things now. We might do we'll need to do an overnighter somewhere. So we're just looking at a few options. There's obviously some rest spots we could look at, just see how far we can get. So now on to more happier things. Let's get our trip started. Hope you enjoy the video.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you.
We've just been talking about options where we can potentially go. We're not going to make Gnaraloo with the time delay, so we're looking at two potential options. One's called Gnaraloo, which is a stop about, I don't know how many kilometres, but it's north of Caravan National Park. It's around that area. And the other one is Gladstone Bay. That's further north again, I think about 70 k's or so. It looks absolutely stunning, but we'll be right on the fringe of actually getting there before it gets dark, so we might have to go for the easier option, but they're the two options we're weighing up at the moment.
That's just before Warramul Roadhouse when you look at the map.
Yeah, Warramul Roadhouse, is the Gladstone Bay one. So yeah, there's definitely some good options. We were just checking out wiki camps. There's a ton of free camps around that area, which is good. So for overnighters, if you're looking to break up your stay, there's plenty of options. It's very pretty just coming through here out of Geraldton. So it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon now, so we've been driving most of the day, but had a couple of stops and fuel top ups along the way. We haven't been sort of breaking a neck to get here, but once we got to the other site, we knew that we could make it, so we decided to punch on. And yeah, so look forward to showing you Gladstone Bay shortly. Entered the gates of Gladstone, so.
Woo! And we've still got some light.
Oh, it's
probably 10 minutes maybe, but we made it.
The sun hasn't set yet, it's just in the distance.
We were having a debate. Would we make it before it sets or not? Who won?
I guess technically you win, yeah.
Yes.
Hoping I might be able to get in without dropping the tyre pressures, but it's pretty corrugated, shaking the van, shaking the car. I want a beer that's not going to explode when I arrive at camp.
Check out that though. And there's just nothing.
What's going on?
It's amazing the difference a few PSI less than your tyres will do on Corrugations. We will be getting in at dark, but hopefully we can have a good sight. So we've arrived at Gladstone Bay, we're all set up. You wouldn't believe our luck. We've arrived and set up at camp, and the tailgate won't open on the on the blooming car. So I don't know what's happened, but it just won't open. The latch is unlocking when I'm using the key, and it's just sort of jammed. So I don't know, it's a future Mark problem for tonight, but it just sort of adds to the dramas we've had today. It's something potentially I might even have to sort out when I get back to Perth, because you know, I don't want to force it open and then not be able to close it. Fun and games, hey, it's all part of it. What's going on here, Max?
I'm cooking sausages.
Cooking sausages?
Yeah.
Nice.
At 29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set the rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again.
Priorities?
Oh, like a dad. Yeah, going straight to the coffee.
Coffee. Is it frozen?
No, definitely not.
No? No.
It's a total win.
Yay. Beautiful view to wake up to this morning. Yeah, I think it was definitely worth the extra sort of drive. I think it was about another hour north of Gnaraloo. We got in about 6 p.m. last night, but yeah, this is definitely worth the drive. It's quite stunning. We had a good night's sleep. It's quite cold actually. I was expecting it to be warmer, but we're all rugged up. We were too tired for a campfire. We just wanted to go and chill, have a drink and relax. But yeah, no, this is definitely a beautiful spot. I think could have easily spent a couple of days here actually. Yeah, so we're just driving away this morning out of the campsite. Very impressed with Gladstone Bay. There's lots of spots. Some are sort of beachside and some are just sort of inland slightly, but yeah, plenty of space, and it's a rock-up camp.
So this particular site, the fees as of 2023 are $13 per adult and then $5 per child. You can get day passes for the day as well, but if you have a look on their website, that does have all the pricing, and we'll put the link below.
First time I put cream on in a few months, so yeah, the weather's actually quite nice and warm today. Blue skies, so I think we're gonna have a nice day.
Not bad for winter, hey?
We've just got to the end of the track. It's about 6.5 or 6 k's or something of corrugations going into camp. So we're just gonna air up back to road pressures, head through Caravan, and then we'll fuel up and we'll go into 3 Mile. So yeah, really looking forward to a beautiful spot.
Yeah, and it's worth the long drive, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it's definitely worth the long drive.
we've only got, I think it's meant to be about 3.5 hours, maybe 4 with the van.
Something like that.
Yeah, but we can't bring it up at the minute. Not quite enough reception.
I'll get to tire pressures.
So how long does that take exactly per wheel?
Probably about a minute on the wheel, depending on how low you go. But yeah, on average, I can pump all 4 tyres up in under 5 minutes.
Wow.
Pretty good.
That's pretty sick.
That's from 25 PSI. So
Yeah.
The only thing I would sort of suggest if you do have one of these or the new Everest, I lock out 2 of the gears, so I just use 8 gears when towing, just to make sure the transmission temps don't get too hot. And just in front of me here, I don't know if you can make it out, but I've got what's called a scan gauge 2. That just allows me to monitor transmission temperatures, coolant temperatures, things like that. It just allows me to get a better sense of how the engine's going and if things are getting too hot while towing.
I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours.
Yeah, so quick fuel stop in Caravan at the Ampol, and we've got a fresh coffee as well, which is nice. So we've got about 140 k's ahead of us now to 3 Mile camp. fuel to the top. I've got a big fuel tank, it's 140 litres, so no fuel concerns on this trip, which is great. With the Pajero Sport, I was a little bit on the edge, you know, with towing it was about 350 kilometres is all I would get out of a tank, so this will give us the freedom to do some day trips and explore the surrounds. But yeah, we're going to cruise now and enjoy some of the scenery as we get closer. Favourite drives, isn't it?
Oh, it's so pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a few corrugations, so I recommend dropping the tyre pressures down, but it's worth the drive. It's beautiful. I mean, the coastline is just something else. Yeah, just everywhere you look is like a postcard, basically, isn't it?
You've got the massive cliffs and then these big waves like smashing against them. It's so pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
And you can also see whales.
Yes, you can see whales if you look out to the ocean. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they are up there.
Yeah. Ooh, water. I really want to go through that. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we're just saying how well the car's holding up to the corrugation. So I think the Iman suspension's doing really, really well. Just have to keep a constant speed.
I think we couldn't even have conversations before, could we? Because it was just so crazy last time.
It's still very bumpy in sections, but it's overall. So I've got the front PSI set at 25 and the rear at 29, and I've got the van at 40.
And the reason you know that is you can't quite see it there, but
no, obviously it's a little bit high there because as you drive, the the PSI naturally increases.
So what were you doing, Mark?
I was just setting up the camera. That's how I get my exercise.
It wasn't running fast enough.
No.
So we're here. See if we can spot the camera.
Here we go. We're back.
Hey Mark, what do you reckon?
Pretty good.
Pretty amazed, hey? This is what Site 2 looks like, guys. What's with the hat, you weirdo?
You know how Kate said we always, on our last video, she said we always forget something each trip.
I remembered the butter. It wasn't the butter this
Guess
time.
what we forgot this week? So Izzy was the only one that actually remembered her hat. So
Oh, well.
I forgot mine, Kate forgot hers, Max forgot his, so I
Whoopsies!
think it was about $80 later at the
Billabong
Billabong
Roadhouse, apparently. Hang on, wait, let me do a little zoom.
Oh, God. But no, we knew it was going to be hot, so. What's going on here, Izzy? You're painting? Oh wow, that's got lots of numbers all over it. Does that mean it's going to take you a long time? We're all set up now. I mean, how's this view? It's just stunning. Obviously not our first rodeo here, but equally as special. Nice to do it in the new car as well. Yeah, it was made light work of those corrugations, so that was nice. Bit of mud on the drive down as well, which made things interesting, so I got a bit of cleaning to do when I get home.
What about this, guys? Pretty amaze. Mark, what are you up to?
That's the campfire going. We had a pretty roaring one last year, didn't we?
Yeah, pretty epic. This is the view we're going to have when we cook dinner. Check that out. What's happened here, Mark?
Who ordered medium rare? I thought it might be a good idea to cook them on the fire, and they were firing, they were flaming. One side's alright, look at that.
At least they
perfect.
cooked.
They're edible. So is it make your own burger night?
Yeah.
Wow, it looks delicious, guys.
When he was cooking them on the fire, and then he put the pan on the edge, and then the flame went right underneath it.
It did.
And
It did.
right at the bottom.
Bit of a windy morning to wake up to. We actually took the awning down last night because it was blowing about. Trying to do breakfast is proving a bit problematic as well because we've got the wind, it's like a wind tunnel in this van right now. Yeah, I'm basically standing as a windbreak here, trying to keep the gas from blowing out. Behind Kate, we've got our little wall up.
Yeah, my crazy hair.
We don't actually usually use this a lot, but days like today where we've got a bit of sun coming through and we need a bit of a windbreak, it works quite well. I reckon that took a good 40 minutes to cook. It was so windy.
What are you looking at, mate? You see the surfers?
Yeah.
Down there, aren't they?
Over there
Yeah,
because of the rock.
I know, crazy waves.
So Izzy and I just gone for a bit of a morning walk. Some stunning weather. But sporting my new hat from the Billabong Roadhouse. Not my usual style, but good to keep the sun off the face. Yeah, no, it's a really nice spot down here. Very relaxed. I don't remember it being this windy though last time. Yeah, Izzy's seen some whales in the distance, so we're just seeing if we can spot them on camera. There we are. Don't know if you can make that out. Getting some water spurts. Maybe humpback whales. Pretty magic to have somewhere like this that you can camp at and have a look at whales swimming around in the bay. It's very unique and very special. If you do decide to camp here and you're not lucky enough to get one of the spots right on the foreshore, there are a number of bays inland. Most of them have ocean views as well. In fact, I think all of them would have some form of ocean view. So it is a good spot, and it might actually work out better for you because you're probably a little bit more protected from the elements. But saying that, you can't get much better than being right on the waterfront. You know, we open our window in the morning and look straight out to the wave. It's pretty special. Second morning at the beautiful 3 Mile camp. Just cooking up another breakfast for the kids. One thing I thought I'd mention is that the only sort of weakness I've found with cooktop here on the MDC 15 Plus Caravan we've got is when you get wind coming kind of through the van, it's actually very hard to cook things and the gas seems to blow out. So I've got an old bag here I've just used from some firewood. There's nothing burning here close by, so it's not going to set on fire, but it's just something to block the wind out, because yesterday we tried to cook breakfast and it took, how long did it take yesterday, Izzy? Like 40 minutes. Yeah, it took forever. Just coming into the Gnaraloo homestead now. Or past the Gnaraloo homestead. We're actually going to make our way to Gnaraloo Bay for a bit of a look around. We've heard it's really pretty. Kids might have a paddle as well.
It's hectic.
What are you doing, Mac? So this is what corrugations can do to a vehicle. So it's actually knocked off the front light bolts. So I mean, pretty simple. I'm just got to see if I can find some more bolts to put that on, but it does show you how much it shakes the car around. It pays to carry extra bolts in your toolkit if you don't already. So just things like spring washers and nuts and bolts, because obviously the bolts come off the bottom here and they're lost. They're probably on the track somewhere. So I'm going to need to use what I've got, but thankfully I do carry spares. But yeah, you can see it's taking a bit of paint off, so it's obviously gone. The corrugations have shaken it, it's gone back and made contact with the grille, but it's nothing, it's minor. It's like a bit of touch-up paint, but
Not ideal.
not ideal, no. There we go, all fixed. So a bit of an update on the tailgate. I've just had a look. There's a inspection panel in the middle. So I opened that, had a look. Unfortunately, one of the release rods on the driver's side has actually come loose on one side. There's no way I'm going to be able to get that back open until I can put that release rod back in its home. That's a bit of an issue because the storage unit is actually held in with pot rivets and there's some glue as well. So I can only think it's going to be a bit of a nightmare trying to sort that one out. But either way, there's no way I'm going to get that tailgate open. I'm hoping there might be a little hack to sort of perhaps open the tailgate without the release rod, but I don't want to mess with it on this trip because the last thing I want to do is end up with something that I can't then close. Just more inconvenient than anything, because trying to put things in the back of the tub is a bit of a pain. But yeah, that's the update on that one. I'll keep you guys posted, but it's going to be something that I fix back in Perth. Getting ready for dinner, looking at that.
Yeah, winning.
Another day, another beer, another fire. Just stunning here. We're just leaving camp. It's day 3 here, so we're going for a bit of a drive. Ultimately, we'd like to get to Red Bluff. We haven't actually visited that yet. We've been here, obviously this is our second time. To get to Red Bluff, we make our way back to the main track essentially. It's a bit of a drive. I think it's at least probably 20 kilometers or so. Yeah, Gnaraloo is quite renowned for its surfing locations, so you see a lot of people coming down to camp here with boards and things. So yeah, Tombstones and Turtles are both apparently good places for surfing. It's not something we do, but apparently it's pretty good. So yeah.
And then the rest are like cool snorkeling places, aren't they?
Yeah, so yesterday we did a little bit around Gnaraloo Bay, which was nice, but there are other snorkeling locations nearby.
Oh, and fishing as
Fishing,
well.
oh yeah, fishing, yeah,
fishing,
absolutely. Yeah.
So we're looking at the map.
Here's some of the friendly locals. Got a bit of a traffic jam ahead. Yeah, so we've just arrived at the Red Bluff office here, just to have a bit of a look in terms of future potential. And the prices are listed. So adults are $22, kids are $10. Oh, that's for camping, yeah. And they do shacks as well, which are $50 for adults and $15 for kids.
And they do safari tents as well, which are pretty cool. $100 per person.
This campsite's a lot more expansive than 3 Mile, so looks like there's more options for camping, which is good. And each of them have stunning views, don't they?
Yeah,
it's
there's
beautiful.
no good spots or bad spots. Like, it's all pretty awesome.
Hey guys, just solo at the moment. So I thought a good opportunity just to have a bit of a chat and talk about a couple of the dramas I've had on the trip. Corrugations will certainly test a car in more ways than one, And I've had a few issues on this trip, just due to things being shaken around, and it's really the first time the vehicle's really been tested on long ongoing corrugations. The first one, which was day one, was the tailgate. So there's no way for me basically to undo that tailgate. So probably I'm going to need to remove the tailgate storage solution and actually get that release rod back into place. So it's going to be a bit of a hassle. Maybe on a few trips that I've done recently it's become loose and that just tipped it over the edge, but I have spoken to Hurricane Fabrication. They've been super helpful, so I'm sure I'll be able to get that sorted. It's just one of those things. In terms of other things going wrong, I'll walk to the front of the car. The whole light bar unit actually came right off, so that was a bit of a surprise. Did about 150 Ks of corrugations, and this light bar here was basically sitting upwards here. It has scratched the paint a little bit on the bumper here and on top of the light bar, but everything else looks okay. I also got under the car and just had a look at the bash plates. So I put on the Ironman bash plates recently, and I wanted to make sure that they were secure. Thankfully none of the bolts had come off. There was a couple that were a little bit loose and I just gave them a little bit of a nip with a spanner. The last thing I had was, I noticed my fridge was off and I was like, oh no, we've got an issue with the battery. Nothing to do with the battery. What it was the Anderson plug that I had, one side had come out. So again, corrugations have just been shaking everything on this vehicle. Pretty easy fix. I was able to put that cable back in the Anderson, but just does highlight the importance of maintenance when you're off-road and having a look at your vehicle, checking things. Corrugations will test a vehicle. Some of you might be interested in how the battery is holding up and performing on this trip, and I can say it's been flawless. Most of the time it's been at 100%, so we've been doing a bit of driving, so it's been getting topped up along the way, but very impressed. Been charging some of the camera gear and things like that. It's been great. I think for solo trips it'll be more than ample for what I need it for. Finally, in terms of just general questions that have been coming through, so a couple of you have asked about towing. Now the vehicle's all sort of set up and got the bigger tires and everything. How's it going? Really well. Fuel economy 17.2 litres per 100 kilometres. That's pretty good considering the van is sort of quite heavy, in around the 2.8 tonnes. Gear in the back of the tray as well with tools and all sorts of things. Carrying 4 passengers, so very happy with that fuel economy. It's also worth noting that this is quite modified. Bull bar, bash plates, rear bar, the electric slide, etc. So, and obviously the secondary battery system as well. So just as it is, the car's quite heavy, but it tows absolutely beautifully. Sometimes I hardly know it's even on the back, which says a lot about the vehicle. Hope you're enjoying the video. We'll get back to camp. Hey guys, this looks a little bit familiar. I think we have this on every trip. What do you reckon, Max? Chili con carne, nachos, fire. How good?
We're all about cheating, aren't we?
So what are we doing, Izzy?
Making damper bread.
Have you made it before?
No. Someone made a bit of a mistake. The milk. Not meant to.
Dad added the milk before. Daddy, you added the milk before you were meant to.
Before it was quite sticky, but now it's like smooth and you melt into it.
Alright.
Good job, Iz.
Damper. We're just gonna leave it for like 20 minutes, and it will be ready.
Got our damper out now. We've done it into 3 sections. Actually looks not too bad.
Is it nice?
Yep.
Oh my god, that smells so good.
Alright, try it out.
Have like a scone.
It tastes like scones.
Yeah, like scones. The jammy cream.
Yeah.
A bit messy as we're about to head off, but this is the inside of our van. Izzy's bunk at the top there. Max sleeps on the other side. We've got a king bed here.
We say goodbye now to a site that we've really enjoyed for a few days. Bit sad to leave, to be honest, but all good things come to an end.
Bye, Gnaraloo.
Corrugations are never ending on Gnaraloo Road. I've got my fronts at 20 psi at the moment. I had the rears at 22, they've gone up to 27 on the drive. Obviously towing the van, but still bumpy as hell. You can keep your speed to about 70 kilometers an hour. It's not too bad, but there's a few sections that are really bumpy. Wild weather, some wild weather coming in. Yeah.
Holy moly, look at these waves, Max.
Found another thing wrong.
corrugations here are brutal. So here's another thing. Look at this. This is my aerial. I think when we get to next camp, I'll be checking everything properly again. But yeah, they really shake the car to pieces. Just airing back up now for the drive back. The van tyres are 60 psi, and I'll be putting the rear of the Ranger at 42 and the front at 40. The 26 parallel leaving the northwest. Probably not our camp style dinner for tonight. We're doing a HJs in Gero, but we thought this would make things easier and we avoid the impending wet weather. Max is happy he gets his HJs.
Drop it.
Man in action.
Alright.
I actually thought we could do a segment because you're fixing stuff in my car so often. It could be like repairs by Rowan. What do you reckon?
We could go.
So this is our solution to trying to fix the tailgate that's broken. We've worked out it's the release rod on the driver's side. Hey!
Didn't have to drill it.
Didn't have to drill it, we just have to take this section off here.
Tell Hurricane that you're gonna
Yeah.
a new thing.
A new thing, yeah. There you go, like I bought one. So yeah, it's great to get the tailgate all sorted. Max is sporting it at the moment. That was actually a pretty simple fix. So taking that top strip off, and we were able to get in there and pop the release rod back into its holder. So if that does ever happen, look, it's a relatively quick fix. We were talking about sort of future-proofing it. We actually put a cable tie underneath that release rod and tightened it. So, because what had happened is the rod sort of hooks on and it actually came out of its slot. So that was the problem, and that's why obviously we couldn't drop the tailgate. The guys at Hurricane Fab were great. I actually reached out on the trip when I had some reception and said, hey, I've got this issue. And they're like, look, we'll sort it for you. We'll send you new release rods, etc. So they were really helpful. And I might put some new ones in the future, but I don't think this is going anywhere now. All right, guys, that's it.